Hey guys, what is up? Kevin here, and judging by the title, you are seeing it being phrased as bad news. Before I talk about it, I'm just asking you now. Don't skip it. Don't skip this video. Don't skip to the head, because you will not understand what I'm talking about if you skip even a second of it. Okay. So, I guess this whole thing started back in March of 2013 when I first launched Modian, saying, okay, this is going to be a company which is going to be making projects for fun. We are going to be a distributor, and we're going to have like so many cool things coming out of it. At first it was little, bigger, and obviously after a year it grown to be one of the biggest online studios of the tri-state area. One. I'm not saying it's the biggest. I'm saying it's one. It's somewhere in that top 100 spot though, and I'm really glad we could have gotten there. It was founded by me and Jaden. Jaden left later, but then he came back, so he lost that part of his co-founder. We have gained so many partners at Modian Studios throughout the past year. We've grown from myself to Jaden, and then Kevin, then Danny, then Miguel, then Chris, then Nico, then Maddie, and being able to meet awesome YouTubers like the Swag and Dragon, aka the Beast Inside of Me. I was able to meet like these awesome YouTubers at Elysian, a school I used to go to. And I was able to do so many awesome things due to my career, and I loved it. However, when I first launched Modian, I made one vow to myself. No matter what, you will never allow this in the studio. Do not allow competition. That's the thing. I want you to be partnered in Modian Studios and think of it as all of yours, not thinking of it who can get the bigger grab at it. And that is something I've sworn to destroy no matter what. And I've seen myself in positions where I have been allowing it to slip in, but it has been destroyed. For example, the vice presidency. I'll get to that in a second. But I'm going to compare it with someone. For example, do not take this in any offense at all. I'm just using it. When I hang out with Miguel, it may not be him, but usually I see him try to be very competitive. Like, he always wants to be number one, and he always wants to be the best. And that's something I vowed to destroy. Miguel's cool on this subject, but however, that part of it, I just don't like. It's not Miguel. I completely respect if he wants to be like that, and I have no problem with him being like that. I'm just talking about the studio. I don't want the studio being competitive, and it's not just him either. Jaden has been very competitive. He's always been trying to get to the top spot, and seeing that, he's always been trying to be like big. A little bit of Kevin. He's always been a little competitive, but I can see it in his eyes that he's only doing it for fun. And Danny, well, actually TF2, I take that back. For TF2, he's always competitive on TF2. Call him a noob too a bunch of times, but he's competitive. Nico, especially Nico, he's always been competitive. As far as I can remember, he's always been trying to be best. He's already better in parkour than me and Miguel, because I pretty much retired, and Miguel is on it, but he's better. He's like awesome at it, and video games, I'm not exactly sure. I haven't exactly seen it, but I'm getting off topic. The point is that I've sworn myself to destroy it, and yet I've been manipulated to become it. I have been manipulated to be this guy that honestly, I feel I want nothing to do with. Something I vowed to destroy. I literally became, and I don't like it. And it's not just that. It's that ever since, like, YouTube became a bigger part of me, ever since the first zombie takeover, I made all these projects, but it's actually the behind the scenes, because when I upload the bloopers, we're all happy, but in reality, some of them don't even want to be there. In fact, I don't even think some of them even want to do YouTube, but yet I force them into it. I know for a fact Kevin is more of a behind the scenes camera guy, but yet I always ask him to be in videos. I'm pretty sure he doesn't mind, but I'm pretty sure I don't like it if I feel like he doesn't want to be there. Same goes with Jaden. I feel like Jaden doesn't want to be in most of my projects either, and I completely respect that. The same goes for Miguel. And not only that, but I'm not saying wasted. I've spent so much time trying just to make a studio that makes everyone happy, when I haven't even asked myself this question. Is this what everyone wants, or is this what you want? And yet, everyone has been always a part of it. I don't know if it's actually because they want to be there, or it's because they don't want to hurt my feelings. I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I just feel like I've been becoming a jerk. I just feel like I've been losing it. And I've seen friendships been on the lines just for this studio. I've seen Miguel. I've seen Jaden threaten to fire Miguel when those two had a fight. I've seen Miguel come out of his shell and say that Jaden was a terrible VP when those two were having those fight. And I've seen everyone else just, like, either in it or not. I've just seen it, and I really don't like it. I don't like what this thing has become. So, which is why this decision is yet to be decided. But I'm gonna release it publicly as soon as I feel confident. As soon as I feel that this will happen. If it will, this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna shut down Modian Studios. Reason being, I feel like it's just, you know, this. Something I created for some different purpose than what it is now. And I feel that it should. However, I have not decided yet if it will happen. Here's the only alternatives of what might be. If I decide to save Modian Studios, things will remain the way they are. I will give up presidency and CEO and give it to someone else. Or we're going to shut it down. 3 options. Which one's going to be? Now, say Modian Studios shut down. What does this mean for the MCU? Modian Cinematic Universe. What I attempted to do was to create a shared universe with major properties that we own. And I feel like we've taken that to a new level by the Aztec Easter eggs and the Modium logos, but I just feel like I just don't know. Like, if it will be, like, and as far as I'm concerned, it's working, but it just doesn't feel right. Like, it feels great, but it just doesn't feel there. Okay. Also, I bet the question on all your mind is, if Modium Studios shut down, what does this mean for all the other YouTubers and myself? I'll get to myself in a second. I'm going to talk about the others. Well, basically what's going to happen is that they're going to work independently now without a studio, if it does happen. Prentice Ops Productions will become Prentice Ops Studios again if he so wants to choose to become it or become an actual YouTuber. Same with Jaden. Everyone will be laid off. And you see in Uplink actually in many videos that have budgets from Modian Studios will be confiscated from them, meaning that they will no longer have budgets for their videos. You can no longer have a budget. It's up as an independent, as you being independent, it's up to you to find a way how to get that money and that sum of income in order for you to make the videos that we used to provide. And I just feel like this is it. And what does this also mean for shows like Jailbroken and stuff? I will act in them, I will remain in their shows, but the thing is that they will no longer be part of a shared universe. Aztec will no longer exist in their universes, neither will the shows that I've linked them all together. It would be up to them to cross over with people or up to someone else to create a shared universe. But overall, I will not do it if I continue going like this. Now, the decision is not final. I've said this substantially more than once. The only way I could be convinced to keep this studio going is if that I feel it would no longer be this torment that I feel that people are going through and I've been going through. If it no longer is that torment, if I can guarantee you that the people who are working on these projects actually want to be in those projects, that's the only way I'd keep it up. And also, what does this mean? Well, Jaden the other day asked me to put up the VP spots and everything back. As of right now, they're shut down. I've shut them all down. I've shut them down in case the Modian shutdown actually does happen, if we end up shutting down the studio. I know this sucks, but you don't know yet. However, actually there's another thing. What will happen to the properties that were acquired by other people? Now, one of two things will happen. Number one, those properties will remain with those properties that those people that they were sold to. Like Neo and Detective Freeze will remain with me. Same goes with Miguel's properties. Officer Ty and Paul Diamante, they'll remain with me. However, I'm not gonna be a jerk. They can have their rights to use them in their films, as long as I can still make their films. I wouldn't mind it. Or they will be bought back by their original creators. I'm going to leave it at the same price. For Miguel, it was 20. And for Jaden, it was 10. Now, Miguel, if you're asking, you only gave me 15. Actually, I gave you 20. 5 of it I had to give up to Paul. 10, actually, I only owed Jaden 10. So that's pretty much all that's going to happen. Now, when would you hear the final word on this? Friday. Also, bringing back on topic, what is the fate of Ultra Swag Time if this does happen? Now, the vlogs on my Kevin Mason channel will continue, and gameplay channels on Netro Networks will continue as long as I keep them going, because I rarely do it. And, Modian Studios channel, however, will be shut down. However, for Ultra Swag Time, here's the thing. I've recently gotten Source Filmmaker and Gmod and all these other things, and I've been inspired by my favorite Gmod animators, for example, Jiggly Master, something something, and Shadow759, and I think I'm gonna go into animation. But it really depends on what happens. Which means that I'll do the voice acting and all this other stuff that I used to rely on my friends on, that I can do myself. But it really depends on which direction I go. Wish me luck.